Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our trading room here at Indicator Warehouse. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you had just a terrific holiday season. I know I did. Unfortunately, I did not get as much done as I hoped to get done, but oh well, what else is new, right? um, you can see here this morning a slightly different look. I'm trying the new NinjaTrader 8, and I'm still in the process of setting up some of my tools. So this morning we're just going to focus mostly on the Raptor. Don't worry, DTS owners, I will be migrating over the Hawk, the Falcon, and the Eagle later this week. But right now, we're just going to run with the Raptor as I get used to the new NinjaTrader 8. And you can see we've got the trade calculator here in the top left corner. So it's not a very steep learning curve, but even so, there is a little bit of a learning curve involved here. Yeah, I know. Mark says, oh boy, yikes. Yes. It might surprise you to know that I don't spend all my time playing with the charts even after the trading room closes. So you guys will be able to learn along with me. Okay, well, yes, we weren't trading last week. It was a little bit of a short trading week. And honestly, things are always a little bit dicey that first week of the new year. Certainly the last week of the old year, first week of the new year, the markets tend to be relatively thin, not a whole lot going on. It makes for some interesting days, though, as there tends to be a little bit of added volatility due to the holiday season. And of course, now we are into the March contract as well. So if you haven't rolled over yet into March, you'll want to focus on the March contract. The market I'm featuring here today is the NASDAQ, which is my own personal favorite. Just a couple of things here on the new trade calculator, which is essentially very much like the trade manager. We were able to migrate a lot of the features over, but unfortunately not all of them. The trade calculator is parked up here. You can drag it anywhere you like on your chart, so it's out of the way, which is a nice little feature. And here is your on-off button. It does the ultra important risk calculation. So you keep from blowing yourself up. Currently, this is the stop strategy I'm running. And with the trade calculator, your stop is just your initial stop. You will manually manage your stops once your trade is underway. And in a little while, we're going to be looking at how to employ the chart trader from NinjaTrader. Where is my chart trader button? It's up here somewhere. There it is. And the chart trader will actually allow us to automate a trailing stop if we choose. So we're still going to be able to do that, but it will be a little bit different than what we were used to. And I may even try to convince one of the fellows from NinjaTrader to come over and show us how to do that for morning. Right now, I'm just going to go, for today, I'm going to go with the buy market, sell market buttons, although we can also use stops by going into the trade calculator. You can adjust your ticks on stops for a stop entry. Right now, though, I'm just going to wait a little while here for the the dust to settle. It does look like the initial move is lower here. We did get a number 2 signal back here. Would have been a little bit tricky to catch. Hey, way to go, Mark. Mark says, having a good start to the year. Had a couple pre-market trades of my own. So far up 885 this morning. Nicely done, Mark. Yes, I'll get the Falcon, the Hawk, and the Eagle up and running the next few days. And hopefully this time next week, everything will be as it was last year, but now on Ninja 8. Graphically, I have to say Ninja 8 is very appealing. Performance-wise, I know they were supposed to make some performance upgrades, but honestly, I haven't noticed them yet. All right, just kind of waiting for some of this opening range action to subside. And you can see we're fairly neutral here at the moment, although, yeah, here's our number 1 signal. I was going to say we're going to be close to producing a number 1 signal. As the clouds have crossed, there's a little bit of a pullback, and now this is the signal that is the trend resumption signal right there. That's your number 1 signal. Does look like we might get a second push opportunity on this. No. So the second push, I would simply look to enter down here. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can do this with the trade calculator and just manually enter your market order when prices trade down below here. You can also right enter or right click and enter your sell orders. Okay, there we go. Looks like we're below there, so I'm going to short the market now. And here's my initial stop. So I'm actually going to raise my stop up a little bit to where I would like it to be. Oh, they're going to back up on me. It's still a little bit too neutral. Doggone it. Come on. It was against, no, actually we were in sync with the ATR. This is our ATR line here. We're just trying to turn over now. Oh, I'm going to get tagged here in a second. All right, hold on. Let me get rid of the text and marker. So if you don't like these orders to plot, the text and marker, right click on your chart, select data series, and then down here where it says plot executions, what you want is do not plot. Click apply and you're good to go. Oh, you stinkers, you're coming back now. The trading range still, the trading band still very, very sideways here at the moment. Oh, Mark, I know exactly what you mean. Mark says, I'm not sure I'm ready to make the jump quite yet myself. I just don't want to fix it if it ain't broke, if you know what I mean. I do. I know exactly what you mean. And for those of you running Ninja 7, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Ninja 7 and the Trade Manager. Ninja 8 has kind of been the go-to for Ninja for the last year, and a lot of the new owners are running Ninja 8, and so I feel obliged to make that transition as well. But yeah, don't feel like you have to switch over to Ninja 8. Ninja 7 still very stable, still supported by NinjaTrader. Okay, so we're bouncing around here a little bit still. We're almost at quarter to the hour. Scott is asking, okay, a couple good questions here about Ninja 7 and Ninja 8. The Scott's asking, is the trade manager designer still not interested in updating it to Ninja 8? Oh, he's interested, all right. But for whatever reason, he's unable to do it. The biggest difference between Trade Manager and the Trade Calculator is the Trade Calculator is an indicator, and the Trade Manager is a strategy. Now, I'm not a programmer, but what they tell me is that the strategies are infinitely more vulnerable to changes in the software. So when NinjaTrader makes a little tweak to the software, it has this domino effect, and it really kind of, well, it screws things up. The trade calculator does not have those problems because it is an indicator-based program. So last I spoke to him, he was still working on it, and the problem I have with the programmer is he's promised me on several occasions to have the trade manager ready, and of course he's missed the mark every single time. I would rather he just said, Eric, I can't do it, and then at least we would know where we stand. But no, he keeps saying, yeah, I'll have it ready, in 2 weeks, or I'll have it ready by the end of the month. And in turn, I tell you, and then of course he doesn't have it ready. So it is on the to-do list. I have no ETA. The trade calculator is going to be the go-to. During the month of December, when the trade calculator came out, it was a little bit of a rushed promotion because, well, I was heading out of town, but I did finally have a Ninja 8 solution, so we offered it up at an extreme discount for existing owners so that you would at least have a trade / money management software system for Ninja 8. Now it does, like I say, practically everything that the trade manager did with the exception of auto trailing your stops. And we will have a workaround for that. Andrew asks, can you run both Ninja 7 and Ninja 8? Yes, absolutely you can. I have both on my computer. When you download Ninja 8, it will ask if you want to overwrite Ninja 7. Just select no. And then you will have Ninja 8 and Ninja 7 on your computer. If you want to run them both simultaneously, however, you're going to have to get another data feed. You're going to have to get 2 data feeds because I don't believe you can run both off of the same data feed at the same time. All right, here we have a very interesting pair of number 3 signals looking to buy. We're going to get a second push entry up here. This is also going to be near the high of the morning. You can see I still have a lot of software to transfer over. This is going to be close enough to a hard edge bounce for me as well. Not quite touching the hard edge, but overall we're just kind of getting this bullishness here. So I'm going to look to buy. There's the signal. Come on. So I have my preset profit targets and of course my preset stop loss. And a nice little number 3 signal, a little hard edge bounce. Actually, I guess it did register as a number 3 signal. Oh, yes. Andrew asked, can we run the indicators on both versions? If we own the DTS, surely we don't need to repurchase. No, you don't need to repurchase. You can upgrade your software at the members area. You can get the Ninja 8 software. The most recent version of any program you own is available at the members area. Now, don't everybody rush to the members area, except for migrating the software to Ninja 8. There have been no changes made to DTS since its inception. DTS is a locked system. The Raptor, I think, had a facelift done, but no changes to the programming. The facelift included the signal prompts here. So if your Raptor does not include the signal prompts, then you can go download that version. But other than that, no, all the software is pretty much as it always has been. But if you're curious, if you're wondering, I wonder if there's a new version of whatever, then yeah, just go over to the members area, have a look. Andrew asks, what about licenses? Licenses only apply if you're running more than one computer. If you've changed computers, let's say you've bought a new laptop and you want to move your software from the old computer to the new computer, yes, there is a license transfer fee. It's not significant. It's like $10. And that's really just to cover Ben's time for doing the work. If you're looking to run two computers simultaneously, with DTS and Raptor, then you need to purchase a second license for the second computer. Now, second licenses for existing owners are at a 50% discount. So there's a big savings to be had there if you're looking to run two computers. I know, well, at least one person has a family member trading different markets on a second computer, and so they have a separate license for their second computer. But like I say, there's an extreme discount for that. Hey, way to go, Mark. Mark says, had a couple more late filter entries. That's a signal on the Falcon, folks. And I've hit my goal. I'm over $1,600 on the morning, taking 4 contract trades. Nicely done, Mark. So Mark's hit his 4 trade quota, and he's out. Well, I'm assuming he's out. I don't know. Are you going to dip your toe back in the pool? Or while we're waiting on this, let me make a little change here to how my chart displays. That looks a little better. I'm still from the era of when charts used to arrive in the mail. Can you imagine? Obviously, we weren't day trading off those charts, but I'm just so used to seeing a space to the before the price access. This is where you would plot your physically with a pen and ruler. You would plot your days until your next charts arrived. Darn it, missed a nice little opportunity here on this number 1 signal. It is, well, we're almost out of opening range. Mark says, I'm in sim for the rest of the session unless something irresistible presents, like the last late filter entry signal. I would have thought there'd be one around here. You see, the late filter entry signal is one of those signals that will coincide on your Raptor because the Falcon is the primary signal generation for the Raptor system. And this number 1 signal, if it didn't coincide exactly with the late filter entry, it would have been pretty darn close, I think. But things looking a little bit more bearish right now. The one thing that I'm not really keen on with the new Ninja 8 And this is more on me than anything, is how they get you to build a chart. It used to be fairly straightforward. I'm sure I'm missing something. Okay, things kind of evening out here again a little. Just wanted to bring up a daily chart here as a reference. And you can see we're in a little bit of a nosedive here since the beginning of December, made significant moves lower. I think a lot lower than anybody expected. I know I was expecting the market to hold these lows here. We had kind of a little triple bottom even, and the market tried to rally, but nope, they had none of it. And a very, very hard move lower. A little bit of a recovery rally, so I think maybe at least a short-term bottom is in. We'll put that away for now. Sorry about that. Just had the phone there in the background. Andrew's asking, do most people here trade the NASDAQ? That's the NQ. I'd have to do a survey to know for sure. I know the NASDAQ is my personal favorite, and I think that's kind of rubbed off on a few people. The nice thing about the NASDAQ is it's only $5 a tick, which means that if you're trading a smaller account, well, heck, even if you're trading a larger account, it enables you to take multiple contracts. And multiple contracts it give you several advantages, not only increasing your profitability, but also sometimes when it comes to trade management, you're able to leave a runner in play. Um, you can extend profit targets, you can have multiple profit targets, and so on. Another decent market to follow is the mini Dow. That's the YM. But I know there's a few people in the room that trade crude, the Russell, the mid cap, that's the EMD. And I think there may even be a few S&P traders in here, the E-mini traders. Andrew says, but it moves wildly. Yeah, it can. It can be pretty crazy. But of course, all that volatility, it's also helpful, right? Because when we get a signal, we get some follow through. We get a signal, we get some follow through. I'm surprised actually we didn't print a number 2 signal here. The thing with trading that eludes a lot of people, and I think this is why so many people have difficulty making money trading, is that they get the notion that they need to catch every move. You know, that they're always have to be in the market. It's like if they're not trading, they're not working. I'm using air quotes when I say that, working. They think that, you know, they got to be doing something. And that's not the case. In fact, if you train yourself to wait for the best opportunities, you'll probably find it will have a dramatic effect on your overall profitability. Personally, I only look to trade about 3 times a day. And what that does for me is it allows me to be very particular about the signals that I'm focusing on, because now I'm not looking to take 10 trades. I'm only looking to take 3. So I can be a lot choosier. So when I'm looking at the market like this, I'm looking at the overall context, and it seems, well, at least for the last 15 minutes or so, it seems to be fairly sideways. I may decide to wait a little bit, right? This is not an ideal area to be trading from. I'm getting a lot of background highlights, so a lot of signals, very little follow through. I may choose to wait just a little bit longer and maybe hold out for a better signal. But if you can train yourself to do that, you'll find that you will avoid a lot of these bad signals. Another good tool to avoiding the kind of the sideways mess is to sometimes have a different perspective on the market. And by that, I mean, you know, if here's that daily chart again. The daily chart can give you a little bit of a bias. Like if we're looking here, there was a very, very bullish day last Friday. So there's obviously some bullishness in the market. This could make us a little bit more bullish. We could also take a look at, say, like a, well, sure, here, let's do like a 5-minute chart. And if we adjust the data series just to look at the regular trading hours, you can see that this was Friday, of course, through here. And now today, the market's just kind of in this little bit of a sideways funk. So it's not, you know, a bad idea to have, like I say, a different perspective on the marketplace. Something to help you be a little bit more selective about the trades you take. So right now, given Friday's session, it looks like we've got a relatively bullish market. So maybe we'll favor long positions today. Maybe we'll look at being more bullish overall. So the clouds have crossed. We're kind of out of the sideways chop now. Had a little bit of a rally. Here comes the pullback. The next signal that prints will be a number 1 signal. So we can get ready for that. Or maybe if the market pulls back here closer to the hard edge, or if I want to employ a second push, I can look to buy the market above here. All these kinds of things will serve to help keep me out of a market that isn't really committed to going higher or lower yet. Oh, for those of you following crude, Floyd says crude's moving up. Crude oil prices also taking a bit of a kicking of late. I would agree with Mark's comment here as well. Mark says, I trade the NASDAQ exclusively, but the key is to pick a market and get to know it well, inside and out. Study it, get to know it. It makes it easier, in my opinion. And I would have to agree with that. There's a lot to be said for knowing the personality of the market. The signals themselves tend to generate the same way. In other words, the programming looks for shifts in momentum. It looks for particular setups before generating signals. So in that sense, it really doesn't matter whether you're trading the NASDAQ or the E-mini or gold or whatever. But to get to know a market a little bit, to get to know its tendencies. Oh, there's my number 1 signal. So I'm just going to buy in with that. And get up there. Come on. Hooray. No problem hitting my profit objective on that one. So, but like I was saying, getting to know the tendency of the market, its personality. I think I would agree with Mark. There's a lot to be said for that. What a lot of people don't know with these smaller tick instruments, and bear with me here as I attempt to build another chart. What a lot of people don't know with the smaller tick instruments is that they will tend to move equivalent dollar amounts as the larger tick instruments. So let me see here. Once I get the E-mini chart loaded here, I'll be able to demonstrate. Well, getting a little bit of a cloud crossover here again. We did produce a number 2 signal off of this double top. The number 2 signal is the counter trend signal. It looks like we're getting some decent follow through off that. And we're back down now toward these lows, and it looks like we keep encountering the median line and taking a little bit of a hop off of that. Mark says it sure was nice paying less than $2 for gas on his recent trip to Colorado. How much are you guys paying? In Alberta, gas is down to, what was my dad saying, 85 cents a liter, which would be about, well, there's just under 4 liters to a gallon. Dan says down in Texas it's $1.77 a gallon. Scott's paying $4. Yeah, gas prices all over the map. All right, so here now is the E-mini, and let's see if we can't compare moves. So let's take a look at this move from down here all the way to up here. So down here is a low of 25.24.5. And we'll take it right to the we'll take it to the end of the first leg. And that one is 25.39.75. All right. It's too early to do this in my head, so just a second here while I find my calculator. Okay, 15.25 points. That's with the E-mini. Okay, so that's 61 ticks, and the E-mini, of course, trading at 12.50 a tick. Boy, you get away from trading for a little bit, and all of a sudden, you got to start thinking about this stuff again. Okay, so that's a $762 move in the E-mini. This move from right down here, from around 6.55 up to here a little bit past 7 o'clock. That same move here on the NASDAQ, 6.55 to a little bit past 7. It must be that move right there. So down here we have 64.22. And up here we have 64.56. This may not be a good example today. All right. So the comparable move. So what we're doing is we are comparing the E-mini to the NASDAQ. We're looking at this move right here, from here to here, both on the NASDAQ and the E-mini. So the E-mini, that turned out to be a 61 tick move for $760, $62 to be precise. The same move here on the NASDAQ, from here to here, is a move of 138 ticks or $690. So if you take, a little bit of rounding into consideration, you can see that it's almost the same dollar amount. Why is that important? Well, don't forget the E-mini trades at $12.50 a tick. The NASDAQ trades at $5 a tick. So in theory, you could take at least 2 contracts for every E-mini contract, right? Because 2 times 5 is 10. That still gives you less risk than the E-mini contract. So whereas you may have made $760 trading the E-mini from here to here on a single contract, you could have mathematically taken 2 contracts in the NASDAQ and traded it from here to here at $690 per contract. That's $1,380 in profit versus only $760. So the smaller tick instruments, they, especially when you're able to trade multiple contracts, generally are more profitable. And this is something that a lot of people overlook when they're looking for markets to trade. They'll focus on the E-mini because, hey, it's the E-mini, right? It's $12.50 a tick. Goldman Sachs trades the E-mini, so it's good enough for me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the E-mini. It is a good market. Certainly less choppy than the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at that move again. So you can see the NASDAQ had a lot more volatility. The E-mini progression a little bit smoother, but more expensive. When you get yourself to the place where you're trading the NASDAQ or the mini Dow for that matter, and you're getting yourself in a position where you're trading 15, 20 contracts at a time, you may actually start to move the market with those size of orders. If you find that you're starting to get slipped on your entries because your order size is too big, then you can start migrating over to the E-mini, which of course will absorb 20 contracts in the blink of an eye. But that's a good problem to have. when you start moving the market, that's a nice problem to have. Oh, Mark says lower oil prices are, it's $1.94 in Wisconsin. Ray says 203 in Michigan. Yeah, we're here in our province. Here, let me figure this out for you. It just went down yesterday as well, but we're still paying a small fortune for ours. We are paying $4.90 a gallon because the province of BC is having a fight with Alberta. And Alberta, of course, produces most of Canada's oil. And so they're having a little bit of a hissy fit. All right. Well, we're still kind of bouncing back and forth here. Our trading band trying to get bearish. We did produce a number 1 signal. Looks like it got low enough to hit the profit objective. Got a counter trend signal here, which I don't know if I'm all that keen on trying a counter trend trade today. Here now, another number 1 signal as everything comes back in sync to the short side. All right, if I get a follow-up signal here off this one that's going, I may try to short the market. It's a little bit of a dodgy trade because we are near these lows, but what I would be looking for is that second push entry. So I could even just throw an order below here. So I'm going to do my sell order. Oh, I guess I need to change the graphics on that. You can't see my order. Dan asks, my charts are taking a very long time to load. Is there something I'm doing wrong? I'm assuming you're using Ninja 8. That is one thing I noticed with Ninja 8 as well, is that the charts do seem to take a long time to load. Now, I don't know if it's just the initial load when building a new chart, but yeah, they do. They seem to take a long time to load. So no, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Certainly if it takes more than 5 minutes to load a chart, there's something not right. I'm trying to find my order. Price marker. All right, well, we won't mess around with that right now. Oh my, 35 minutes is far too long, Dan. Scott's suggesting check the number of days you're loading. So if you right click on your chart and you go here to data series, I have 20 days loading because I've got the ultimate support and resistance lines. Obviously, if it's trying to load like 500 days worth of data, that will take a long time. But no, there's no way it should take a half an hour to load. It's hanging on something. So why don't you reboot your NinjaTrader? That should solve the issue. Usually there's not too much rebooting software will not fix. All right, well, now we're still flip-flopping a little bit, going back and forth. Yeah, Dan says I'm using 30 days. Even so, it shouldn't take a half an hour to load your charts. All right, a little bit of a bullish break. The clouds now stacked in a more bullish fashion. The Raptor filter starting to break up a little bit here. We're starting to get a little bit more bullish. This is going to be the number one signal here on the Raptor. I'm going to see if we get a little bit more of a pullback, although I have a feeling I may end up waiting too long. So here was the entry. It looks like they're going to sneak up here 2.5 points, find my profit objective. But if this is a new trend emerging, there should be a little bit of a pullback through here. Darn it. Okay, here comes the pullback. Here we go. I don't think we've actually moved all that far today. Where's my daily chart? Yeah. So here's the daily. Here's today's session. Look at that. We're pretty much right where we started the day. Just a tiny little doji style bar right now. Oh, okay. We got a follow-up signal now. This one of our discretionary signals. Shoot. Scott's asking, hey, Mark, did you take that late filter signal? All right, so, I was tossing around the idea of taking that number one signal. Of course, I regret not doing it in hindsight. I was waiting for a slightly larger pullback, and it looks like we may be getting that. Or did I speak too soon? Mark says I'm sidelined in sim only, but yes, I took it in sim. It's always good to practice. Keep your skills sharp. All right, here we are back at the highs. We've got these highs right here. I'm going to buy a breakout. There it goes. Come on, get up there. I'm holding my stops here at the moment. Come on. Ooh. Well, that worked out very nicely. A little bit late on the entry. It was one of our discretionary signals. So this is what I saw. So we had a new trend try to emerge, right? That's what your number one signal tells you, is that there's a new trend trying to emerge. The market comes down, gives me a little bit of a pullback. Again, a little bit of a pullback, and now we have a second push opportunity on a breakout above these highs right here. What makes these highs better than this high right here? Nothing, really. I was too late to take the breakout above here, so when the market gave me a second chance to get in, that's what I was looking for. Take advantage of that breakout, and we had some very nice follow through on that. Actually, this would have been a nice trade to even have a runner in play. Could have maybe picked up a couple extra ticks, but that's all right. I'm okay taking the profit on target. So I think we can safely say the market's in a bit of an uptrend at this point. Our trading band, fairly broad though. We're back here, we're around 70, well, you can see 73 ticks. That does open up the possibility of a reversal. That does open up a chance that the market may try to produce a number two signal here, maybe back up on itself. I don't know if I want to get too terribly aggressive on a short. There's the trading band again. It's up at 70 ticks. All right, let's take a look at taking a number two signal if it prints. So we've got the high. Now we're testing the extreme. What we're looking for is we're looking for a signal to reverse. The target will be the hard edge of the trading band. Ooh, I don't know. That is some uptrend we're looking at here. Maybe I'd better shoot a line across the lows. Oops. Don't tell me I just broke Ninja 8. There we go. Come on, there you go. Almost up here to the primary resistance. It's been a fairly tight range here today. Okay, just so you know, this is in sim. This is going to be like stepping in front of a truck. We've got, oh, we did get the signal, but not a number two signal. The number two signal requires a retest of the high before we get the failure and the reversal. I might not get it though. Because the market is just so crazy bullish, but it is overbought as well. That's what the wide trading band tells us, is that the market is overbought. It may be inclined to try to retest the lows, a very, very shallow retest. There's the number two signal. It's not printing because it did not retest enough, but that may be the only little hiccup we get here. All right, so the signal, now we have a second push opportunity. And we could be looking to sell a break below this low right here. Strictly based on the second push, strictly based on the wide band. All right, now we're getting a slightly better retest of the high. This could make for a more likely move lower on the next sell signal. But there is just a ton of bullishness in this market right now. In fact, you would be probably better off focusing on buying opportunities rather than selling opportunities. Okay, our number three signal to buy. We'll see if that fails and they come back with a number two signal to short. Where's that warning dot? There it is. All right, so this now my number two signal. I am in, just a touch early. Stops stay above the high. And we got our quick little move lower there. I could have extended my profit target here toward the hard edge of the trading band, which is where the market should go. But a quick little hit and run. Look for, like I said, the market to continue now here toward the hard edge. All right. Well, they're taking their time getting back here, and I think it's because of all this bullishness here. Like I said, they're going to be maybe a little bit more inclined to rally. This little sideways trading range, though, that's developing, may give us an opportunity to bracket it. So here's our trading range, looks something like this. This now the breakout above the range, so we're going to look for a little bit of a pullback. Oh, didn't get it yet. Come on, give me at least one bar. Okay, so this is now the top end of the trading range. A move above here should see the market go higher. So I'm going to look to buy above here. And let's see if I can park a buy order up there. I'm going to get ready with a short order as well. Because once we see where the market, now that we've had a breakout from this little bit of a trading range, once we see where the market reacts, we'll have a better idea how to frame this trade. You could set up your short, come here, just below the bottom of the trading range. So we know there's buying down here. We know there's buying here. There's buying right here. They're trying to buy it here. And if all this buying starts to break down, well, then we're going to see some selling. All right, so this now where the sellers found their limit. So I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive. This is kind of inside this trading range, which is not ideal, but we are starting to get a little bit of market structure here. So we're looking at a great big test of the extreme, right? Here's the high, here's the retest, here's the failure. The next signal lower will be a short signal. It will be a very big number two signal. It will not print as a number two signal, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a number two signal. And I'll throw a little profit order down here at around 64.60. Okay, so here now the signal to short, that is, like I said, a very big number 2 signal if you want to be a little bit more aggressive and get in a little earlier. There we go. Got the wrong order. Note where the market bounced here. It bounced right at the bottom end of that trading range. Might have been better off leaving my entry order below that trading range. The buyers not messing around here. The joys of counter trend trading. Okay, I could adjust my stop above this swing high right here. I'm gonna, for the couple extra ticks, I am gonna leave it back here. If I get another little swing, I will start to bring my stops in a little bit more aggressively. Come on. Trying to be patient with you guys. All right, so if we get a couple of bars lower here, that's probably, come on, give me one more bar. Show me some bearish momentum there. You can do it. Oh, you stinkers. No, not yet. Come on, just a little bit more. Normally, if you can print 2 bars in one direction or the other, there will be a little bit more follow through. As you can see, it's happened here, it's happened here, it's happened here. When you get just the 1 bar waffling, you're not really, can't be really as confident that you're going to get that follow through, which is why I'm trying to be patient with the trade, trying to hold my stops. There we go. There's the second bar. Now we're getting a little bit more follow through. So I'm going to bring my stops in here. I could bring them down to the ATR if I wanted, but I think if I trade above here, we'll give it a couple of ticks. There we go. If I trade above 64.79.5, I'll take my lumps. All right, gang. We're not closing up shop just yet, but I do have a meeting at the top of the hour, so we will close up the trade room just a few minutes early today. If you're going to continue trading today, you will do better staying long. I showed you this counter trend trade, but when you have a defined trend, I think we can safely say the market is in an uptrend. You'll do better. Oh, see, there you go. It just got tagged. You'll do better staying with the trend side. Biggest problem I find with counter trend trades is that, of course, they block you from taking your with trend trades, which can be very annoying. Well, there's a number 3 signal. Now we're getting the second push on the number 3. So we'll see if it gets up there. It gets through the primary resistance. That could offer a decent second push entry on that number 3 signal. And that will be with trend, and that will probably follow through to its profit target in spite of the recent sideways choppiness that we've been seeing here. Come on. Here we go. And there we go. So we just ticked higher, broke above that high. Actually got a little bit of positive slippage on the fill, which is nice. And come on, give me that follow through, you stinkers. Ray's asking, Eric, I made some settings on the trade calculator using SIM. When the target is filled, my stop on the chart 1 sell stop stayed on the chart. Yes, your stops with the trade calculator have to be managed manually. So not only are we going to roll our stops manually, but when your order gets filled, you'll have to remember to remove your stop order, your exit order. All right, gang, I've got to button up shop here just a few minutes early. Like I said, you'll be better off staying long today. Let me give this trade a decent stop. And yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow. Be careful out there. The market is bullish, but it's really, really in a bit of a sideways funk right now. For about the last half hour, we've just been drifting sideways. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Bye for now.